families. Over the last couple of days, we've been having insightful conversations around this topic, the subject, what is going on around us, 16 days of activism. I've been having a very awesome conversation around it for a moment now. It's currently the 10th day of the 16 days of activism. This is the 10th day, and if you've not been joining us, now you know what is going on here on Women Radio 91.7. We've been having a lot of conversations to help us all understand what digital violence is all about, how to put an end to it, and how it can all be better. It's currently 10 minutes past 12 o'clock today, the fourth day in the month of December. My name is Follower Akirami, and you're tuned in to Women Radio 91.7, Nigeria's only radio station for women and their families. Over the past 10 days, we've been having different organizations come on board to tell us what they are doing and how they are improving and changing the cause, and also driving the cause for gender-based violence, how they are causing change and how they are making improvements to ensure that everyone is most abundantly aware what is going on with the 16 days of activism and what gender-based violence and digital violence is all about, and also helping us understand how they are solving the problem of digital violence and abuse in our nation altogether. So yes, this is 16 days of activism, and while my waiting for my guests for the day to join us on the show, I'll quickly take us through what digital violence is about. Some people have been hearing 16 days of activism, 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, and they don't even know what it is. They're just confused. What are they even talking about? I want to try to break it down before my guest for today joins us. And today, it is something that's really going on, especially digital violence. It's something that's really, really going on in that space, and we need to address it very well. Digital violence is the new phase of gender-based violence. There is gender-based violence and there is digital violence, and digital violence is now the new phase. It's not what is going on when it comes to gender-based violence. It is a violence that happens through your phone, through your screen, through an app, through your message, through the internet, and it affects thousands of women and girls on a daily basis. That's what gender-based violence, digital violence is about. It is a kind of violence that happens through your phone, through your screen, through an app, through a message that you come across. When we're talking about digital violence, we're talking about behaviors like online stalking, monitoring a woman's phone or location, demanding password, threatening to leak their private pictures. When you're threatening to leak a lady's private picture, that is digital violence. When you're bullying somebody online, cyberbullying, harassment, trolling, those are digital violence. A lot of digital violence is happening in our space today, and people are not talking about it enough. Women face digital violence for the same reason they face physical violence. Women face digital violence every now and then because society has created systems where people controlling each other, shaming, silencing women has become a norm. We're now in a society where controlling women, shaming women, and silencing women is gradually becoming a norm. Imagine a girl posts a picture online and men are flooding her DM. Men are flooding her DM, talking about her body in condescending manners, or they are threatening her, insulting her. That is digital violence. If you don't know now, you know that is digital violence. When a lady posts a picture and you're insulting her or you're body shaming her, that is digital violence. When a woman decides to leave a relationship and suddenly her ex starts to threaten her to post her pictures online, start to threaten her to post her pictures, her nude pictures, whatever picture it is online, that is digital violence. And or let's say if a secondary school girl is cyber bullied because of her body, not even a secondary school girl, any girl at all, any woman or girl at all is insulted or is cyber bullied because of her body, that is digital violence. If a lady gets pregnant and her stomach is after giving birth, her stomach folds up and everything, and you're insulting her, that is digital violence. Or a lady has Mary Mother Ham, just like Fumi will say, and you insult her for it, you abuse her for it, that is digital violence. A woman's WhatsApp messages being monitored by a partner. You're monitoring a messages all in the name of I love you. Mm-mm. We don't do that here. That is digital violence. If you don't know before now, you know that that is digital violence, and there are punishments for all of these things. We say that, oh, these things are small, they are insignificant. My darling, it is not insignificant. They are acts of violence, and they leave deep emotional, psychological, and sometimes financial scars on the victims. Now, what is the role of men when it comes to violence, when it comes to what is the role of men, and why does it matter? Why do we need men to speak up for us, to show up for us, to stand up for us on our online spaces? Why? Because it is still men that harass women online. It is still men that go around to body shame women. It is still men. It is fellow men, right? So what is the role of men in putting an end to digital violence? Let's talk about it for a moment. When it comes to ending digital violence, I believe that men have a huge role to play, especially for women and girls. Not to say that men do not also encounter digital violence online, but when it comes to women, it is prolonged. It is huge. The ratio is really, really high. So what roles do we want men to play when it comes to digital violence and abuse? I mean, women are like as well, not because men are violent, not all men are violent as well, but because most digital violence is committed by men. Sorry to say, but not sorry to say, but most digital violence are done by men to women. I'm talking about the one that happens to women now. Most digital violence are committed by men. Most online spaces are dominated by men, and most men's voices influence other men. When a man says, guys, let's not do this again, other men tend to adjust, and they actually stop doing that, right? So that is how we're calling on men, not because men are bad, not because men are evil, but because men are the ones who many times commit this violence, and men are the ones that can also speak to their fellow men to stop doing what they are doing. Now, how can men be a part of the solution? How are we calling on men to help us address this issue, to help us solve this problem that is happening in our space? Number one is to challenge harmful practices among other men. If you're a man online, and you see your fellow men insulting or body shaming a woman in the comment section, please stand up for that woman and speak up. Not even because you're trying to speak up for the woman. You're just letting it be known that you are against body shaming, or you're against digital violence against women. If your guy friend, they're sharing leaked pictures, nude pictures, blackmailing women on social media, or trolling girls online, call them out. Don't support things like that because you feel like it's not my business. It is your business. It is your business. So don't keep quiet when it comes to digital violence, because silence means support. If you're silent when you see other people body shaming other people online, or leaking their pictures online, and you don't see anything, and you see that, you keep quiet, your friend is doing that, you keep quiet, that is you giving your consent, because silence is support. So if you know that you're not in support of it, you speak against it, you speak up, so that people know that you're not a part of it. And let us also stop normalizing control in relationships. For men also, stop normalizing control in relationships. Love is not surveillance. And also to the women that do that as well, love is not surveillance. Love is not it's not something that you need to be monitoring each other up and down. That's not love. A woman's phone is not a crime scene. So don't go around checking your man's phone. What are you looking for? What are you looking for? Don't go around checking your woman's phone either. Let their phone be their phone. It is their privacy. Let it remain like that. Respect each other's privacy in a relationship, because if you don't, and you go and check their phone when they did not give you the permission to check their phone, that is digital violence. Also teach boys consent online and offline. From secondary school level, let them know that if a lady says no, it applies. It means no. No is no. No is not, oh, you're trying to form hard girl. If a lady tells you no, no. If a lady tells you don't text me, don't text her. I know that some ladies will be saying, okay, maybe you have to get, but if she says no, don't text her. If she says no, don't text me, take it as no, don't actually text her. If she says no, don't touch me, don't hold my hand, take it as no, don't hold my hand. When a lady says no, she means no. Don't assume that maybe she's just trying to play as, she's not trying to play as it gets. If it is no, it is no. Don't do that. Don't do that. So everybody should learn that consent, should learn consent, both online and offline. If somebody says no, take it as no. And we should also support women's safety. If a woman reports digital violence, believe her. If a man also supports digital violence, believe him. Please, if a man says a woman raped me, I just recently even realized that men also get raped. Hmm. They rape men, no. They rape men too. Oh. If you don't know before now, you know. They actually rape men. And it is sad because men don't come out to talk about these things. Men, please always talk about these things. Open up your mouth and speak up to find justice and to find solution. I didn't know that men were usually raped as well. And, you know, it was really sad to hear when it happened. So let's support each other, online, offline. Let's believe each other. When somebody tells you they were verbally abused or digitally abused, you know, agree with them or just believe them. Don't tell them you're lying. You too, why did you wear short skirts? You too, why? No, don't do that. Support each other as much as you can. Let's support each other. Let's lend our voices to causes that matter. Let's be the voice that someone else is. And let's support each other when things like this happen. Men can be powerful allies, and many men are already standing up for what is true, what is right, and more men can also join to do the same. What is the role of society when it comes to digital violence and abuse? Because ending digital violence is not just an individual responsibility. We all know that it is not an individual responsibility. It is not a one-man thing. It requires community action. It does require community action. So what should schools do? Schools must teach digital violence early. Teach your children, teach your students, teach them about digital violence. Let them know what is going on. Children must learn about consent, about privacy, about respect online. So teach your students digital violence. Let them know about it. Let them know what is going on. Let them know how they can be a part of it. Let them know. Teach your children about digital violence. And also social media platforms must act faster. You know, from our previous conversations with my previous guests, we always hear that the major challenges that many organizations face when they want to support people with digital violence and abuse is the fact that social media platforms do not respond faster. They don't respond faster. So when they ask you to take a picture down, it takes 15 market days before the picture is taken down. So this is a call to social media platforms to also always act faster. When reports are made, act on it as fast as you can. Report systems, they need to work. And validating consent must be taken down quickly. Violating consent should be taken down quickly, as soon as fast as possible, as fast as they can be. And also communities must also stop blaming women. This one, a lot of people do it and it is wrong. Communities should stop blaming women. Any small thing that happened, it is the woman's fault. Oh, why did she not wear clothes? Why did she not? That is not an excuse for insubordination. That is not. It is not an excuse. It is not an excuse. The fact that a woman, she wore one short skirt and it is not an excuse for you to molest her. It is not an excuse. It really is not an excuse. It's not an excuse to behave rudely to a woman. It's not an excuse to treat her badly, speak badly to her. It is not an excuse. It is not an excuse. And it will no longer be tolerated. If that is your reason for molesting a woman, it is not an excuse. Just know that it is not an excuse. So communities should help to stop that. Stop blaming women. Okay, if you say she will dress somehow, what about the young girls on the streets, walking, and they are properly dressed, they are decently dressed, and they still experience things like this? They still go through this violence. They still go through this violence. I saw a video sometimes ago, a bricklayer guy, a bricklayer, he was wearing the normal bricklayer um outfits. It wasn't even looking fancy, and some ladies were talking bad about were making comments about his private parts and everything, and that is wrong. Men and women are like, it is wrong. We should support each other and fight against digital violence against women and girls. And when we see it for men as well, don't keep quiet. Don't keep quiet about it. A leaked picture is not a woman's fault. If a man, maybe you were dating somebody and he took a picture of you during your intimate moment and he went ahead to post it, it is not the woman's fault. Don't say, you two, why did you go to his house? No, it is not the woman's fault. It's not the woman's fault. You are the one who decided to post it in the first place, and you should face the just law. You should face the law for doing that. The blame belongs to the person who shares the pictures without consent. That is the person to blame. The blame is with the person who took a picture and posted it online without consent. Families and friends and people must also learn not to cover up abuses. Don't cover up abuses. Don't cover up abusers. Somebody did something bad to your child in your community. You're not saying, egbole, meaning that it's a family thing. There's nothing like that. Oh, if you enhance an abuser, you are helping them do it more. So not just to your own child, to other children as well. Don't support them. Don't cover them up. If somebody did something bad, show it off. Let us see it. Let us see it. When a girl is intimidated online, don't silence her. Support her. Speak up for her. Media must also avoid victim blaming. Let's stop victim blaming. Let's stop all of these things altogether. Because at the end of the day, what is important is that we all live in a safer environment. We live a safer life online. We live in a safer world online. And that is the best thing to do. That is the best place to be. Nobody wants to be molested online. Nobody wants to be spoken against online. Nobody wants to be treated badly, be spoken badly of online. It is not allowed in any regard. It is not encouraged in any way. Let's not do that. Let's continue to support women, support girls against digital violence and abuse. As we continue the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, let us all remember that our digital devices were created to connect us. They were designed to make life better for us. They were designed to make life easier, to make work easier, to make everything around us easier, not to control us. They were created to empower us, not to silence us. A lot of people have lost their lives because of digital violence and abuse, and it is not supposed to be. Our social media platforms, our digital devices were created to make life easier for us and not more dangerous, not to create a more dangerous environment for women and girls. Ending digital violence will require that women start to speak up, men start to step up, and communities begin to wake up, and also societies refuse to normalize abuse, both online and offline. Abuse is abuse. Online, no, offline, no, abuse is abuse. And together, we can create a digital world where women and girls feel safe, feel respected, and feel free. My name is Follower Akirami. I really, really hope that our guest for today would join us, but unfortunately, the network did not allow it. But I hope you learned one or two things from the conversation this afternoon on ending digital violence and abuse. My name is Follower Akirami, and this is Women Radio 91.7, Nigeria's only radio station for women and their families. Thank you so much for listening. And remember that violence behind a screen is still violence. If you do it behind the screen, if you do it in your house, if you do it outside your house, if you do it physically, if you do it online or offline, violence is violence. Let's all end it together. Thank you for listening.